Okay, so we are back today with another video about the Samurai Turn Pretty Season 3. I'm so sorry it's taken me so long to do this. Things have been absolutely crazy, I can't even begin to tell you. For those of you who do not know and haven't seen any of my videos, I am a Belly Conrad girly, so fair warning. Okay, if you don't want to see that, if you don't like that, if that is going to make you angry, if that's going to make you tell me to kill myself, if that's going to make you send any mean or hateful comments, this isn't the video for you. This just is not, it's not for you. So, but any belly jers who are welcome to hearing a Belly Conrad or listening to them or watching them, you're welcome. I love everybody. I mean, this is an inclusive space. I, however, just happen to be a Belly Conrad girly, and that's just how it is. I have read the book, so I do know what happens. I know what's to come, theoretically. And I have a whole playlist of watching the entire second season, if you want to check that out. But right now, let's just get into the full-length trailer for the Samurai Turn Pretty Season 3. Lots of flashback.
First loves are important.
Yes.
But they're not as important as lasts.
I don't wanna look at anything else now
Not the
that
daylight.
I saw you.
Have you ever been in love?
Once.
I don't wanna think of anything else now that I thought of you.
Okay. Okay, Steven.
What was her name?
Belly.
I loved him in a way that you can only really do the first time around.
Got the hot
But
cocoa.
that's the past. Jeremiah, he's my future. This is the way it's supposed to be. He's the
Actually,
one.
why did the glasses eat?
My mom believed anyone you loved was family. Anyone who loved you.
We're getting married. I'm sorry, what?
Did you know this? No.
Belly, honey, you two aren't ready for a commitment like this. You're talking about a lifetime.
Though I want to be with Belly for a lifetime. I can commit to that, easy.
That is how I know you aren't ready.
Is everything okay?
That's
We're
great.
supposed to do this without both of our moms.
Figure
Damn.
it out. I got you.
Ooh, that's so rough.
You and Jeremiah are really lucky. You get to spend the rest of your life with a guy that you love.
Okay.
Not a lot of people can say that.
When I'm with Jer, everything is easier. But everywhere I go, there's a memory of Conrad.
Well, yes.
You just seem like you got everything figured out. Your life in California, your career. You're just all grown up.
You know, you've changed a lot too.
For purposes.
Losing him with you like I'd never known. And now I see that.
What do you expect to happen? You're just gonna drive off into the sunset with her? She's gonna blow up her whole life just because you suddenly remember she exists?
But loving him was red.
I see the way he looks at you.
He doesn't matter. This is you and me.
Burning red.
It has to mean something, though. We keep coming back to each other, that it feels like it's never really over.
Comes in flashbacks and echoes. Tell myself it's time now. Gotta let go, but moving on from him is impossible. And I still see it all in my
Girl.
Life's too short not to spend it with the person that you
Don't
love.
tell me that's the wedding dress. Oh, that's the rehearsal for sure. Okay. There was so much in that. That's really crazy. Okay, so first off, that was really well edited. Really, really well composed. I like that they used the same themes of daylight into red, of course. So symbolic, you know, so indicative of the journeys that were going on parallel to each other. I feel like that was like such an information overload. I think they're trying to keep it a little like, what's gonna happen? And again, you know, anything's possible, sure, but I just really highly doubt they're gonna change the endgame, so I just have to laugh. I'm so sorry. I literally have to laugh at some of the things that are said and done in this trailer. Because it's like, that's the past, this is the future. Well, well, you know, first love, last love. Well, they're the same person, actually, in your case. So, yeah. Jeremiah looked good in those glasses, though, I do have to say, which I am a little taken aback by. I was kind of like, actually, wait, why was that a serve? They're all serving. Also, I do have to say. Also, Laurel's haircut, period. Steven and Taylor are still together, I guess? Good. Cool. Taylor being such a Belly Jer doesn't make any sense to me. That's not true. That's not true. I wish she wasn't such a Belly Jer. I don't have a problem with her being a Belly Jer, because it's like she wants this healthy, what she perceives to be the healthier version, and the better version, and the more stable version for her friend. And that, in and of itself, is honorable, but I just feel like she is supportive to a fault, where it's like, okay, but are you not acknowledging that she, like, still has these feelings and this is still a thing? I just don't think that's gonna be helpful to Belly or anybody in the end. There was so much in there. Yeah, so they dropped the plot point about them being engaged to be married. You know, the hot cocoa throwback, the candy cane coming out of the mouth. The use of flashbacks in this was very interesting. I did not realize they were going to go so hard on flashbacks, but it is loving him comes in flashbacks and echoes. Tell myself it's time now, gotta let go. But moving on from him is impossible when I still see it all in my head and burning grit. Hello! They're spelling it out for us, okay? How can she move on if she's still thinking about Conrad? If he's still there. If she's still haunted by the memory of him. If she still feels those feelings. You know what I mean? That's just, like, the whole dilemma here. I wonder how long they're gonna do, like, Belly Jer happily ever after vibe. Probably not too long, because there was a shot of her running. That's definitely from, spoiler alert, if you haven't read the book, I am going to talk about plot points. Jer in the book cheats on Belly, and then I guess, like, pretty much, I need to reread it, it's been a while, but, like, after she finds out, then he, like, proposes. The whole thing is kind of weird. But I loved Laurel say, girl, you're not ready for this. And you know what? She's right. She's right. And did she lie? No. And she's wise, and she can see what's going on. Because that is the thing, it's like, in the book, it's such weird timing for them to go from him cheating on her to immediately proposing and her immediately accepting, and then them very quickly getting married after that. Like, that in and of itself is just like, okay, even if they were to end up together, it's like, maybe take a second. Maybe take a second and process and work through the cheating aspect first, heal that, before you get engaged and get married immediately after. Like, there's something inherently wrong with that, even if they were in-game. Even, like, I mean this about any couple. If this were Belly and Conrad, I would say the same thing. Like, the timing is weird and sticks out to everybody else is weird because it is weird. Because it's very, like, just odd to go so quickly into it and for both of them to be so gung-ho and so sure about it. So I like the, like, skepticism and the confusion from everybody else. Will the downfall of Steven and Taylor be that he's a Belly Conrad and she's a Belly Jer? I would kind of love to see it. Not really, but yeah, lots of flashbacks in that. That was very interesting. I mean, Conrad, what is he, a pharmacist or a doctor or something in the medical field? Absolutely. We love to see it. He's living his dreams. They're all older, more mature. It does feel like a more mature season, that's for sure, and there will be a time gap and a skip, so that makes sense. There's so much to talk about, really. And I kind of can't even remember all of it because it just came so quickly. Susanna is not as big of a presence as I might expect her to be in this, honestly. But maybe they're kind of saving that. I'm gonna probably watch it again. But good trailer. Good, really well edited. That was like a really, like, good trailer. Really well composed. Really intriguing. Okay, let's start it from the beginning. And I'll pause as I go.
First loves are important, but they're not as important as lasts.
I don't wanna look at anything else now that I saw you.
Have you ever been in love?
Okay. So, again, I'm so sorry. Unless, watch me be Boo Boo the Fool and Bamboozled and they actually change the ending, that would actually be the shock of my life. I just can't see them doing that. But if they did, then this would be, you know, apt, but again, knowing what I know, I just have to laugh. I'm just like, well, and so you think, and so you say. And actually, that's not even, that's correct. Last loves are more important than first loves. It just so happens, Billy, I'm so sorry to break it to you, that yours are the same person. But again, you know, the tactic is working in her mind to say, well, it's, you know, now I'm with the person I'm supposed to be with. And Daylight is very much that vibe and fits that. This is from the book. Someone, I forget the girl's name, she asks him if he's ever been in love. And of course he says yes, because, well, yes. He has been.
Once.
I don't wanna think of anything else now that I thought
This
of
is
you.
cute. Steven looks really good.
What was her name?
Belly.
You don't even understand. See, I can't even begin to get into that, because what that means to me and what that is to me and the emotions that it elicits is really crazy. Because he dropped the candy cane out of his freaking mouth. He full stop dropped the candy cane out of his mouth. And then she has the chocolate on her mouth. and then we go directly into flashbacks of their first time, aka the hot cocoa of it all. Are you seeing the parallels? Are you seeing what they're doing here? Okay?
I loved him in a way that you can only really do the first time around. But that's the past. Jeremiah, he's my future.
I will say, even as a belly Jer, there are, even as a belly Conrad, there are some cute belly Jer moments in this. Like, I kind of like, they're cutesy little, and again, I have always said, I like them and their friend vibe. When they're in their friend bag, I can really, like, get behind it and kind of see it a lot more than, like, the raw sexual chemistry that they, like, try and, that they are pushing, I guess. But, the moments where it's, like, cutesy bestie boo vibes, I'm like, well, yes, they are bestie boos. So that makes sense, and that all looks cute to me. I loved him in a way you can only love the first time. Yes. And I love that line, and there's a lot to dissect and unpack there. But again, a lot of convincing happening from Belly to herself, it feels.
This is the way it's supposed to be. He's the
Those,
one.
that's a serve.
My mom believed
Okay,
anyone
what
who
is
loved
this?
was family.
Okay, so this is some sort of... I forget. This was probably in the book. Some sort of tribute to Susanna, because there's a collage of her there, giving that speech. I like
Anyone
Belly's
who
look
loved
a
you.
lot here.
We're getting married.
I'm sorry, what?
Did you know this?
No. Conrad, don't do this to me. Don't. Because you break my heart, and you always do. Great delivery. He's heartbroken. What can he say?
Belly, honey, you two aren't ready for a commitment like this. You're talking about a lifetime.
Though I want to be with Belly for a lifetime, I can commit to that easy.
That is how I know you aren't ready.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, that's a great point. That's how I know you aren't ready. I can commit to that easy. Easy? There should be a little bit more consideration. Like, that's another thing. I think, if I remember correctly, they're kind of like, well, if you really are going to end up together, like, what's the rush? Why do you need to get married right this second? And that is a great point that comes up a lot in film and TV shows, where it's like, why do you feel the need to rush it? So that is kind of what is happening there. Belly's look to her mom there is so interesting to me. There will be other times to unpack it, but...
How are we supposed to do this without both of our moms?
We'll figure it out. I got you.
You and Jeremiah are really lucky. You get to spend the rest of your life with a guy that you love.
Okay. Okay, so they're definitely gonna have sex, which is kind of crazy to me. And someone commented and was like, it's normal for people who have been in a relationship for 2 years to have sex. Of course it is. Like, I'm not saying that it's abnormal or that it's wrong in any way. I'm not even saying that I, like, hate seeing it or anything like that. It's just that it's a change from the book. And it's a pretty big change, in my opinion, and it's one that I think will give certain insufferable people license to just destroy Belly. Like, I feel like the slut-shaming that's about to be in this bus is gonna be crazy. You slept with both brothers? Ooh, like, that's just not... Eee. And I liked that in the book it was a thing of, like, that was another sign that it was never right with Jeremiah, because she never did it. And her and Conrad end up, together and obviously married, so then they end up doing it, and, like, that's her one person that she does that with. And despite being in a relationship for 2 years, the fact that they haven't had sex in the book is a big, like, thing to go, okay, well, Is something wrong there? And that doesn't have to be a red flag. You don't have to have sex in relationships either. You can wait until you're married. There's all sorts of... It's different for different people. Like, there's no actual norm. But it's a possibility that something might be a little awry, which in this case it is, because she ends up with this brother. You know what I mean? So that's what they're foreshadowing in the book. So I'm just surprised that they changed that. And... interested to see what it does, but scared of the reaction from people, because people love to hate on Belly already. Yikes. I just can't imagine the vitriol and misogyny and slut-shaming that's going to be coming her way. That's really my, like, gripe about it. Not even personally. Even though I did like that quality in the book, that was just yet another, like, subtle sign that it wasn't right with Jeremiah. Obviously, they're changing that here, so I'm interested to see how that affects all the dynamics and everything. Maybe he'll just be really mature about it and, like, never have Conrad or Jeremiah think about or talk about the fact that Billy had sex with their brother. Yeah, maybe they've grown up enough that it's just kind of not a issue, but previous seasons I could see that being a big problem, especially for Jeremiah. Like, whew, my god.
Not a lot of people can say that.
When I'm with Jer, everything is easier. But everywhere I go, there's a memory of Conrad.
That's a very interesting line to me. Because it's very down the middle. It's like towing the line between Belly Jers and Belly Conrads, it feels like. Like, it's giving just enough, but also not enough at all. If that makes sense. I'll have to explain that more at another time, but... that's a very interesting line. I think they are trying to, make people question if the ending is going to change. For sure. So, that's certainly a line that will make you go, well, is that even a positive thing for Conrad? Or is that a positive thing for Jeremiah? Or is it a negative thing? Or vice versa? For either, or both?
You just seem like
love to see them reunited.
Your life in California, your career, you're just all grown up.
You know, you've changed a lot too.
Losing him is blue like I'd never known.
What do you expect to happen?
They look so old.
You're just gonna drive off into the sunset with her? She's gonna blow up her whole life just because you suddenly remember she exists?
Taylor. Taylor. I need to think about this more, because as a best friend of many girlies, like, I'm trying to think if they were in this situation. Obviously, she's ride or die for Belly, so she's, like, only thinking about her. But I just feel like it's so obvious that Conrad's not, like, an evil, like, manipulative, like, asshole. And it feels like she sees him that way, and it's, like, I just feel like that's... But maybe that's just what she has to do in order to, like, in her mind, defend Belly or, like, protect Belly. I guess. But then I'm like, girl, she's gonna end up with him, so what are you gonna say then? What are you gonna be saying then? What are we doing then? But yeah, yet another person just destroying Conrad's confidence. Maybe he just finally got the courage to, like, actually say something or do something for once in his freaking life. Which, if he had in the first place, none of this would have happened. Because that's the thing. Like, it's like, these miscommunications and these mixed signals and things like that are the reason they broke up in the first place. If that hadn't happened, they probably wouldn't have, right? So it's like, you know, she's like, if I would have known, then I would have fought for us. So, him making that mistake in the first place, now he's trying to rectify that mistake, but someone is keeping him from doing that, of course. Very conveniently.
Loving him was red.
Not the red dress.
I see the way he looks at you.
He doesn't matter. This is you and me.
Burning red.
He doesn't matter is crazy. He doesn't matter is crazy, even just from, like, they're lifelong friends and family, and that's your brother. How can you say he doesn't matter? That's so crazy. But yet again, Jer, you know, I have to give you credit. He clocks it. He sees it. He's always seen it. Which is part of why I'm, like, mystified at the sequence of events, because I'm just like, but you know. You already know. You've already said it a million times. You already are like, there's always going to be something between you. There's, you know, I see the way he looks, like, that type of stuff. So it's just like, the whole thing's just very interesting.
Burning red.
It has to mean something, though. We keep coming back to each other, that it feels like it's never really over.
Not him unpacking her room and putting the necklace on the fucking bear under the scarf, so maybe she doesn't see it, she doesn't take it off, or maybe eventually she does see it. Like, hello? This is like yearning on another level. Like, y'all don't even... Do we even understand the level of that and the magnitude? Yeah, I mean, Steven's so correct. What does that say? Prom promises? Is that supposed to be her wedding dress? Well, that's the thing. They're, like, so young. It's like, maybe she would be getting a prom dress as a wedding dress. Yeah, Steven's correct. Doesn't that mean something? Well, yes, it does. It does mean something. And obviously, because they end up together. And then... Yep. Ooh. Not diabolical, the fireworks in the reflection, and he's gonna be looking down on them and reminiscing on what would have been their first kiss had Jer not shot a firework at them. Oh, diabolical. Okay. Them lying on the ground next to each other in her PJ, like, hello? Do you see the material? This is also crazy to me. Jer, I don't even... Maybe don't physically assault your brother again. Like, I understand that there's a lot of anger and a lot that, you know, rightfully he's angry about and that he can take out. But the punching him has just always been crazy to me. It was crazy when he first did it. I don't remember if he did it in the second season. But even in the, like, cancer scenario, I can kind of let that slide because it is a very heightened situation. But it's just like, why are you punching them? Like, maybe yell at them. Talk to them. Scream at them. Like, do anything else other than physically assaulting them. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I guess men are just taught that way. But then again, I highly doubt we would ever see Conrad hit Jeremiah. He would just kind of take it. And he has, each time. And not even done anything about it. And not even said anything about it. Like, it's really crazy to me that he's just punching his brother over and over again. Like, can we, I don't know, talk? Can we fight with our words? It hints toward an uncontrollable rage or and of course this is like a sore spot for him. This is an insecurity. This is something that has been poked and prodded at. Like, I'm not saying he's not justified to be angry at the situation or to retaliate or to lash out at his brother. He definitely is. But by punching him? Really? We're doing that? Oh, we're so mature. We're punching our brother. Like, okay. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, that's her running away after learning he cheated for sure. We see Conrad surfing.
Not to spend it with the person that you love.
Life's too short not to spend it with the person you love. Well, isn't that correct? But that's it is very intriguing. It's very interesting. It seems like they're trying to really go down the middle. They're trying to be like, what's gonna happen? Maybe we will change the ending. Maybe it is Billy Jerry. Maybe it is Billy Conrad. Who knows? Again, I would just be absolutely gobsmacked if they changed the ending, so I'm just going into it with the mindset that they're not going to change the endgame. But, you know, that looks like maybe a rehearsal, I guess. You know, walking down the aisle, and obviously Lore comes around, which is good. And I loved that in the book as well. Life's too short not to spend it with the person you love. That's very interesting, because it could be said for either of them, I guess. By her logic, you know... I wonder when in the season she says that. The delivery is very interesting, because it sounds like an emotional moment. But she could be saying that about either one of them, which is the crazy thing about this season and about the circumstance. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. We shall see. This is also complicated. That's another thing. Like, when talking about this, people get mad at me or whatever, but I'm like, it's messy. Like, everybody's in the wrong, everybody's in the right, everybody's immature, everybody's mature, everybody's traumatized, everybody's fine. Like, it's just, like, all of it all at once at any given time. So it's really complicated, and there's a lot to unpack in literally every single situation. And the dynamics are really fraught. So it's hard to talk about it in a way that's, like, comprehensive or entirely representative of, like, the whole breadth of my thoughts and opinions and emotions. So keep that in mind. If I say something, it's like, I understand that there's a lot more to it than a lot of the things that I'm saying. And, you know, we will have time to talk about that when the season comes out. And I will be watching. So if you're interested in that, tune into my reactions when the Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 starts premiering, and I will see you for another video soon.